quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now, we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or, your father was right. You were an idiot, and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over-the-top gore? Check. Over-embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
All right. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Today, we are going back to the 90s. We go there a lot.
Yes.
This was brought on from we were doing a couple of 90s in a row, and we did Tank Girl, and we were talking about movies, especially superhero movies in the 90s. And Anna said that this movie got a bad rap. I was not convinced completely that I think it might have got what it deserved, but
Yeah,
I have not seen this movie since the year it came out in 1997,
well, see, that's your issue.
and I'm hoping it's gotten it's just campier and funner. And
Mhm.
but yeah, what do you remember about Batman and Robin?
Okay. Now, here is what I remember. I remember the villains being over the top and ridiculous. And I'll say something super controversial right now. George Clooney was a good Batman. He was not Michael Keaton.
No.
But he was a good Batman for the Batman he was playing, which was billionaire playboy who was kind of, just really suave and debonair. And I was like, yes, sir. Yes, you are. True, his suit had nipples, but it's fine. It's okay. Also, Batgirl, Alicia Silverstone was great. Her character was fantastic. She was good at it. I think this movie ended up there was just a lot of hate because once your character has been established, like Batman was established with Michael Keaton, and he did such a fucking great job that the minute you try to deviate from that, everybody's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is shit. But Batman and Robin as a standalone movie, very good, very entertaining.
See, I think that was me. I love Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack
Mhm.
Nicholson,
Yep.
and I love Batman Returns
Yep.
with Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito.
Mhm.
And then Batman Forever was okay with the Riddler and was it Harvey Keitel as no
Two-Face?
no, it wasn't Harvey Keitel. I'm sorry. I just saw a movie with Jamie Foxx. They were lawyers. This new Amazon Prime movie. Oh my god, it's one of the greatest actors of all time. I can't remember his name.
Wait, hold on. Tommy Lee Jones.
That's it. Tommy Lee Jones as
I got you.
Two-Face. Jim Carrey
Yeah.
as Riddler. So when this came out, this was such a kid's over the top, like goofy
yeah.
movie that I dismissed it probably immediately. I was really excited for it. One, loved Uma Thurman, loved Alicia Silverstone,
Mm-hmm.
like loved them.
Okay, perv, calm down.
Chris O'Donnell. I like Chris O'Donnell. I like George Clooney. Loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I was very excited about this movie. But yeah, I'm not sold. But I'm hoping that it's
Yeah.
a little different. I'm gonna separate it and, like you said, as a standalone movie.
I think it's one of those things because don't get me wrong, Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer, both very good Batmans.
Yep.
George Clooney was also a good Batman, just very different Batmans.
Yeah.
He was a very different Batman because Michael and Val, similar Batmans. George, different Batman. And I think this is the same reason why people didn't like Ben Affleck as Batman. And I'm like, he's just playing it from a different angle.
Yeah.
He's a good Batman. He just is not your Batman, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be so mean about it.
Yeah, because what was I think it was years before they made another Batman movie after this
Yeah.
one.
They literally were like, we're killing Batman. Fuck this
We,
shit.
we killed it. Sorry, everybody.
And then DC was like, no, man, we're going to bring Batman back. Ben Affleck.
Yeah. And I agree. I didn't mind Ben Affleck at all as Batman.
He was the disillusioned billionaire who had pretty much given up, and he saw the world as futile. And I was like, that's exactly what you need. It's dystopian world Batman, where he's
Yeah.
just like, what the fuck? I keep fighting, but what the fuck is the point?
All right, let's go to the box office for Batman and Robin. October 21st, 1997, with a budget of 125 million, had a domestic total of 107.3 million. International total of 130 million. So it brought in 238 million dollars, just over. And with DVD sales, rentals,
Yeah.
it probably made a profit. Nothing like the other Batmans did.
No, it did not.
No, because when your domestic is below your budget, that's not good.
Yeah. That's a bit of an issue.
Now, was there any more on this? Yes. Of note, it opened at number 1 with 42.8 million, beating out My Best Friend's Wedding, which we did,
Yeah.
but dropped out of the top 10 by week 6. In fact, week 5, it was at number 10 and had a weekend total of just 1.7 million. That's not good for a Batman movie.
No, it's not. It is not.
All right. Let us go to the tail of the tape. 1997 is an action adventure fantasy. Okay.
Yeah.
PG-13 I was surprised at,
Interesting.
and comes in at a, oh my God, I hope this doesn't suck as bad as I remember, 2 hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because
That's
if
gonna
it is,
be
that's gonna be long.
that. Yeah. Yeah. That's when I saw the 2 hours and 10 minutes, I was like, damn, it was that long.
Yeah.
This should be-
Taglines. Strength now, courage always, family above all. Batman and Robin.
That's stupid.
Heroes, villains, triple threat.
That's nonsensical.
I think it's because there's Batman, Robin, and Batgirl, and then Mr. Freeze, Bane, and Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
I don't,
but
or the triple threat is Batman, but you think, yeah, I don't know.
the simple
Whatever.
fact that you have multiple options for that means they didn't communicate it well.
Yeah. Strength, courage, honor, and loyalty. On June 20th, it all comes together.
They were really pushing this as like an inspirational
Yeah.
sort of adventure movie.
Synopsis. All right. This superhero adventure finds Batman, George Clooney, and his partner, Robin, Chris O'Donnell, attempting to foil. Oh, they wrote the synopsis wrong. That's wrong. That's bad English, right? That's not just
That
me.
correct. That is bad English.
Foil the sinister schemes of a deranged set of new villains, most notably the melancholy Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who wants to make Gotham into an Arctic region, and the sultry Poison Ivy, Uma Thurman, a plant-loving femme fatale. As the dynamic duo contends with these bad guys, a third hero, Batgirl, Alicia Silverstone, joins the ranks of city's crime fighters.
You good there?
Jesus, I hope this plays better than I spoke. And here is the poster reveal. Okay, there's 2 of them, and I don't know which is which. The one here on the left, for those listening, this is the one that I remember. It is there's Mr. Freeze up top, on the side, right side, left side is Batman, Robin, and below is Poison Ivy and Alicia Silverstone. It's a great poster.
It is a good poster. This is gonna sound terrible. It's already mildly misogynistic because the 2 women have to share a little quarter of the thing.
Yeah.
And it minimizes them. Their names are at the bottom, the whole thing. So you're putting Poison Ivy, who some would argue makes this movie, because Uma Thurman does an amazing job. And then Alicia Silverstone in the same thing. So you're already being like, Batgirl doesn't matter.
Yeah. Why don't you just have them down there in a kitchen, Warner Brothers, you fuckers?
I mean, fuck Warner Brothers. You should have had conversations with me before you did this kind of shit. I'm just saying.
Now on the right, we have, for those listening, another poster. I don't know if it was for a different country. This was a cool poster actually too. But again, Poison Ivy and Batgirl are way up top.
All the way in the back. All the way in the back. Like, put the heroes together, put the villains together.
Yeah.
Instead, you have Poison Ivy just kind of hiding behind Batman's wings.
Yeah.
The fuck? It's fine. It's fine. Bastards.
All right. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. Never have I ever, you'll see when as we go along here, never have I ever seen a more hated movie
I'm excited.
in my life. Okay, so geez, muted. Okay. 97 critic reviews comes in at 12%.
Oh,
Now we have had lower
yes.
movies. We have had a few movies, couple movies under 12%.
Mm-hmm.
Not with a budget of 125 million.
No. It's a lot of money for 12%.
250,000 audience scores plus comes in at 16%. Wow.
That's usually the audience. It is more forgiving than the critics.
Yeah, not this time. Well, I
But
mean, a
not
little
that
bit.
much more.
The critic consensus is Joel Schumacher's tongue-in-cheek attitude hits an unbearable limit in the Batman and Robin, resulting in a frantic and mindless movie that's too jokey to care much for.
Mm.
All right, let's start with the positive. There was not a lot. So you may start.
I'm ready. It's hard to hate a movie that's so fun, even if it's quite flawed. Corey Woodruff for the win. USA Today. Original score not available.
If you can look past the film's obvious flaws, Batman and Robin is still a fun time and it knows exactly what it wants to be. A kooky, nutty story made for kids. Christian Filmberg, in-session film, original score not available. But I don't think that's what people wanted.
I don't think
Obviously.
that's what people were expecting.
Yeah.
It's not about want. They heard Batman and Robin. They thought they were going to get movies very similar to the ones that came before. And
Yeah.
then they got this movie and they were like, the fuck?
Yeah. Wow.
An amiable, almost farcical Batman episode with George in Nespresso mode. Peter Bradshaw, Guardian, original score 3 out of 5.
I have George's Nespresso makers.
I
They're
enjoy
fantastic.
Nespresso. Yes.
Same Bat time, same Bat movie. Ed Grant, Common Sense Media, original score 3 out of 5.
Oh, Ed. I don't know anyone who'll admit to liking Batman and Robin except me. Luke Y. Thompson, LYTRTrules.com, original score not available. Me and you, Luke. Me and you.
By most accounts, the worst of the series, yet I like it the best, probably because my expectations were so low to begin with. Clooney breathes some life back into the role. Brian McKay, efilmcritic.com, original score 3 out of 5.
More campy and less dark than any of its recent predecessors. Marty Mapes, Movie Habit, original score 2.5 out of 4.
All right, Rotten. There were so many Rotten.
I'm sure there were.
You may start.
Oh, Jiminy Crickets.
Oh, good.
Oh, there's 2 of them. It's not good, but it's not the total disaster its legacy would suggest. As an ode to the Silver Age of the Caped Crusader, it gets a lot of things right, but the pacing grinds to a halt anytime one of our heroes is on screen. Thank God for Uma Thurman. Trace Thurman, Horror Queers podcast, 2.5 out of 5.
Yes.
Do you want me to get the next one?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. There's pleasure to be found in how campy Joel Schumacher's second Batman outing is. Puns! But everyone except Thurman and Schwarzenegger are phoning their performances in. Too long and too focused on toy sales. This is excess, but not the good kind. Joe Lipset, Horror Queers podcast, 2 out of 5. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. They did not like the movie. They loved Uma Thurman.
Loved Uma Thurman and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And
well, they appreciated Schwarzenegger and his performance. Well, his enthusiasm.
It's honestly a miracle anyone was ever willing to see a Batman movie again after this film. Brian Gill, mad about the movies podcast, original score F.
Damn, Brian. Damn. It all feels like a smidgen away from being a spoof movie. PJ Navarro, Patrick Navarro, 2 out of 5. Uh, Batman and Robin is the fourth film in the series, but it's also the film that finally kills the franchise by putting Batman out of his misery. Danielle Solzman, Solzy at the movies, 1.5 out of 5. Uh, the one-liners are groan-inducing. Rachel Wagner, D.
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 Schumacher is like a bad stepdad who thinks we'll love him if he just feeds us candy all day. Yes, Burton is the daddy in this metaphor, the manic depressive, annoying emo dad. Jason Bailey, Flavor Wire, original score not available.
No,
Did I give you all the? No.
No. Of all modern Batmans, George Clooney bears the closest physical resemblance to the comic book hero, but there isn't much to say about his performance because there isn't much performance to discuss. Joe Morgenstern, Wall Street Journal, original score not available. Damn, Joe.
Wow.
Straight up just saying, no, man, Clooney doesn't perform.
A loud, long, and pointless spectacle. Stephen Ray, Philadelphia Inquirer, 2 out of 4. There's plenty to look at, but nothing to feel. Dave Kerr, New York Daily News, 2 out of 4. I've seen colonic x-rays more visually appealing than what Schumacher throws up on the screen. Bronson, creative, loafing, 1 out of 4.
Damn, Matt. Colonic x-rays? Among the worst wide release films of the 1990s, offering virtually nothing in way of positive compensation other than an excellent chance to mock it with a cater of like-minded drunk friends. Tim Burton, Antagony and Ecstasy,
Ooh.
original score 1 out of 10. 1 out
Ouch.
of 10.
Just for perspective, that would be 0.5 out of 5.
God,
Oof.
that's harsh, Tim.
This franchise has gotten aggressively unsatisfying. Rob Gonzalez, Rob's Movie Vault, D. It represents the things I really, really dislike about Hollywood and its overblown product. Robin Clifford, Reeling Reviews, D. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. David Metzger, bullseye.com, 1 out of 5. We should put Schumacher in a room with R. Kelly's useless Gotham City song playing at him over and over again until he wets himself and promises never to do it again. This isn't IMDb. This is actual critic. Widget Walls, needcoffee.com, 0 out of 5.
Damn.
Ooh.
It's as bad as you think. Christopher Null, filmcritic.com, 2 out of 4. A sniggering, exhausted, overproduced extravaganza that has virtually all of the humanity pounded out of it in the name of an endless parade of stunt sequences. Gene Siskel, Chicago Tribune, 2 out of 4. Wonderful to look at and has nothing authentic at its core. Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times, 2 out of 4.
That was a lot, but there and that
Yeah.
I could have put more.
No, I believe you. I believe you. This movie was almost universally hated.
Yeah.
I was really in the minority when I was like, it's not that bad, guys.
IMDb, the voice of reason. I've never seen this. There are a lot. Oh my God. I have never taken more time preparing for a movie than Batman and Robin.
Nice.
There are so many reviews on both, but on IMDb, and it literally, we start at 10, go 9, down, down. The more reviews get bigger and bigger and bigger, like people. So by the time we get to number 1, there were hundreds.
Oh my God.
Hundreds. Like there were like over 1,300 reviews. I think 30% of them were all 1 out of 10.
Damn.
So now I do want to say there are people that love it. So we will take
Yay.
turns after I do this. Batman and Robin, the Internet Movie Database, 269,000 plus user ratings, gives it. I was shocked. Even I know it's bad, but give it 3.8 out of 10. I think Tank Girl got 5.2 or something.
Jesus, that's terrible.
Whew. Okay, we'll take turn on these ones.
Okay. For the glorious movie critics, give it a break. The movie isn't bad. You were just expecting too much. Juno Boy, 47177.
To rebuttal, when they make a Batman movie, you expect much. You expect a lot.
I
Now,
I
the last
just
few,
expect
like
Batman.
the first one, or
No, just a Batman. Like, when you say it's a Batman movie, I'm like, "Cool, a Batman, like, the character Batman is in it."
right?
I go in with an open mind. Other
Yeah.
people
Now,
do
see,
not.
if you're a serious comic or Batman fan, you expect a lot.
Mm.
Don't take it seriously, and you'll love it. Bailey Dodsworth.
The closest thing we have to the Batman 1966 yet, Saint Ninja.
The hard truth, my friends, is that Batman and Robin is more closer to Batman comic books than all Nolan's movies. Flava 1991. Another thing, no,
Yeah,
it's not. The Batman comics are very dark. There are some kiddie ones, and the cartoons were very kiddie, but Batman, even from the beginning, was much darker than most comics. And they got really dark, very dark.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Aw, come on. Links too.
That one, I like that one. The greatest bad movie of all time, Metal Man 1789. And that's what I'm now hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underrated. Deserves at least a 6 or 7. Tamor 2.
I gave it 10 out of 10.
To bring it
Oh,
up to 7 to 6 or 7.
Timor, you dummy. The most overhated movie in history. This, a family movie for children, and actually that is what Batman is supposed to be like. No, it is not Rocky Marciano 09254.
Now I kind of want to read the first like Batman comic ever.
Well, it is True Detectives, and for like the 1940s,
Yeah.
it was dark. But when you start getting to late 70s, 80s, and 90s, Batman was much darker.
Mm.
Especially some of them were just with the Joker and
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
and they were great. I did not have not read them all, but yeah. But Batman should be for everybody, and like maybe this is a great kids movie.
Yeah.
And introducing
2 bat thumbs up. 9 out of 10. Cheese lover 1, 2, 3.
there wasn't as many of these as I thought there was going to be. I was a little disappointed.
I know.
Really does not deserve the crap storm it got. 8 out of 10. Sarah Kitty 05.
Thank you, Sarah Kitty. Easily the best of the 4. 7 out of
Wow.
10. Woochok. I
Ooh,
feel
wow,
like he's
Chuck.
lying.
Yeah. Don't take this serious, then it's okay. 6 out of 10. Info 65411-11763. What was he, a prisoner?
Yes.
Uh,
What almost killed the Batman franchise? The Ice Age. 5 out of 10. Dark Side Reviewer.
This is why Superman works alone. 4 out of 10. Classics on call.
A 2-hour-long facepalm of embarrassment. 3 out of 10. Tepo-2.
We thought it we thought it rock bottom. We thought it hit rock bottom. Then Schumacher started digging. 2 out of 10. I am Mariah.
Oh God.
You go
Okay.
first.
I've lost faith in humanity. Real cheese.
Holy crappy movie, Batman. Neurotic?
Renault DC?
Reno
DC?
Reno DC? Reno DC?
Yeah. You, sir. I ask you, God, what have we done to deserve this? Eamon Hannity.
The horror. Let Eric.
I hate you, Joel Schumacher. Buffalo Wilder.
How can you give a negative number rating? Question mark. Phil 66099.
I wanted to go deaf and blind in this movie so bad. MFS Bluto.
Smelly Batman movie. Chris O'Donnell sucks. Hawk's Revenge.
Oh, Chris O'Donnell.
And if you go to IMDb, there are some great reads. Even like there's some full reviews. These are just their taglines for
Yeah.
the reviews. Yeah. But there are some real hatred. I mean, real hatred. Real hatred.
People get really intense
Whew.
when it comes to like superheroes, comics. Like they get really, really fucking intense. And I'm like, guys, it's all fiction. Like you realize that, right? Like we're not curing cancer. It's cool. But I mean, hey, what else?
I'm just wondering if Schumacher tried something different here, or the studio was like, we need to sell some lunch boxes. We need to move some toys.
I think it might have been a mixture of both.
Yeah. Which is weird because even the first Batman with Michael Keaton, the amount of toys they sold because of that
Oh,
was
yeah.
ridiculous. I went and saw it at one of the fairs, the actual Batmobile, one of the
Mhm.
Batmobiles from the first Batman movie.
Nice.
All right, well, let us go and watch the trailer, and then we'll make a prediction on whether or not we're going to like it.
I'm
Let's
ready.
not blow my eardrums out here. Here we go.
My name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it's the chilling sound of your doom.
This is the way the world could end.
Please, show some mercy.
With ice. With a kiss.
With venom. I probably should have mentioned this. I'm poison. Poison ivy.
And the only man who can stop them
Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman.
can't do it alone.
Batman will watch his beloved Gotham perish. Bundle up, boys. There's a storm coming. Kill the heroes!
It's the hockey team from hell.
Cold party.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right, everyone, chill.
George Clooney.
Julie, I'm not the marrying kind.
I know you've had your wild nights.
Good night. Wild doesn't quite cover it.
Chris O'Donnell.
I want a car. Chicks dig the car. This is why Superman works alone.
Uma Thurman.
So many people to kill. So little time.
Alicia Silverstone.
And you are?
Batgirl.
That's not awfully PC. What about Bat Person?
Found the Batcave.
She knows who we are. Guess we'll just have to kill her. Yep.
In a Joel Schumacher film. Strength and courage.
Partners?
Honor
Partners.
and loyalty.
Partners.
It all comes together.
We're going to need a bigger cave.
Batman and Robin.
Wow.
Yeah.
that trailer sucked.
No, the trailer was absolutely terrible.
Oh, the one-liners were
Absolutely terrible.
horrible.
Don't get me wrong. I remember a lot of puns, and I remember rolling my eyes a lot, especially for Mr. Freeze. Like, I remember this. Was that even? Oh, um, I was trying to look up how much. Okay. Oh, did I thought this was very interesting. I was like, I wonder how much everybody made. So George Clooney only made $1 million for this
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, and then Schwarzenegger made
20, 25 million.
25 million. I was like, to be painted from head to toe and then do puns.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, right. Yeah, good for you, Mr.
Give me
Schwarzenegger.
25 million. I'll say whatever you want. Yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
I'll talk your shitty
Um,
movie.
I think it's gonna be super duper cheesy,
Oh yeah.
and I think I'm gonna roll my eyes, but I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I think I'm
I-
really gonna like it.
I remembered a lot from the trailer. I'm pretty sure I hated it back in the 90s. I'm gonna try to look at this differently and it's not compare. It's not Michael Keaton. It's not Val Kilmer. It's definitely not Christopher Nolan's Batman. So I'm gonna try just a campy kids movie and see.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna like it though.
I think they were going for a larger audience in marketability for this movie.
Yeah, which is
And-
weird because Batman was so huge. How much more did you want?
I'm
I
gonna
get
tell
it.
you, if honestly, they put this in front of a focus group,
Yeah.
and one of them said, "I would love it if it was more kid friendly."
Yes, I could take my kids to see it. And
Yeah. And that therein lies the problem. Or they're like, "Oh, well, we're R-rated right now. Let's see if we can make it PG-13. Let's start editing the script."
yeah.
And then somebody just got a little edit happy and put a few too many puns in there. But God bless. This is gonna be so bad, but I'm gonna love it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go watch it begrudgingly.
I'm enthusiastically
You're
watching
you're
it.
enthusiastic. I'm begrudging. I think I'm gonna have to pay for this.
Are you?
I think so, but I'm not buying it. I mean, I'll rent it, but we'll see.
Really? You don't want to buy it and keep it forever?
No. Hey, we might come back and I'm like, oh my God, I should have bought this. I don't think so.
No.
All right. Well, we're going to go watch Batman and Robin. And yeah, when we come back, we're going to review it. Yay.
Woo!
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now, on with the show.
Ooh. How much do we hate Anna for making us watch that movie, huh, kids?
It wasn't that bad. It was ridiculous.
All right. Did you watch Joel Schumacher's 1997 Batman and Robin?
I did.
Okay. So what's your initial thoughts?
This is the most ridiculous movie ever made.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really
one way to
funny.
put it.
One of the first notes I wrote, one, Batman doesn't even get top billing. George Clooney didn't get top billing. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I was like, damn.
No, we were talking about the 1 million versus the 25 million.
Yeah. And then my second note was this opening scene feels very Power Rangers.
Oh, fuck. Yes.
Right? It was
Yeah.
it was terrible.
I hate the Power Rangers.
Oh, I loved them.
Did you? Ugh.
Yeah, I used to watch them all the time. I didn't watch any of their reincarnations, but the original.
The original?
Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh, we're just jumping right into villainy. That's nice." And then I happened to notice I was like the first 10 minutes of the movie was exclusively one-liners and puns.
Oh, God.
There were
Yeah.
no actual conversations. It was just one-liners being thrown at each other. No context, just and I was like, who wrote this? But more accurately, who read it and said, "This is the winner.
Yeah,
We
this is
need to
gold."
make this."
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously you watched it because you're cranky.
Yeah. My initial thoughts are shame on you, Joel Schumacher. Shame on you. This is what you get when you prioritize merchandise and toy sales over story. Much like Disney is butchering Star Wars and Marvel with everything they're doing. No, there isn't much. There's so much to hate about this movie. So much. And not a lot to like about it at all, I found. It was hard.
I like the ridiculousness of it because I realized something. I started making notes and I was like, what is this? This movie is reminding me of something. So initially I was like, oh, it's kind of a film noir vibe, dark hero in the night, yada, yada, yada. I was like, okay, maybe. And then I was like, I'm getting kind of steampunky vibes. Like it kind of has that like Victorian with industrial kind of vibe, especially with the sets and all of that. And then there was one scene where I was like, this really reminds me. It's when we go in the jungle and we first meet Uma
Oh
Thurman.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, this really, really reminds me of something. What does this remind me of? And then I realized eventually, long afterwards, I think it's when we get to like, is it Arkham, the asylum? I was like, and at one point somebody gets pulled back and thrown, and there's a yoink sound effect, and I was like, "What
Oh,
is this?"
the silly sound effect.
Yeah, the silly sound effect, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Scooby-Doo. This reminds me of Scooby-Doo."
Oh, yeah, it reminded me of a cartoon. Well, the guy who wrote it, the one guy who wrote it, like he knows how to write. He wrote A Time to Kill.
Yeah.
He wrote The Client, which Joel Schumacher also directed. He did Lost in Space, which I remember actually like A Beautiful Mind, I, Robot, Cinderella Man. So he knows how to write. The other guy that wrote it, Bob Kane, like he actually wrote Batman Begins and the Batman. No, that can't be right. No one that wrote Batman and Robin could write.
Hold on.
Oh, based on characters.
It depends, because you know how studios like to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
So they may have written incredibly great scripts.
Yeah.
And the studio may have just jacked all that up, brought in their own writer afterwards who didn't get a credit, and they were like, "Edit the fuck out of this."
Oh, I think he was one of the original. He's one of the main DC Batman writers, comic book writers. That's why he's on here. And they took this from one of his things. But yeah, the main writer, who was the list of movies that I just named off, like, he knows how to write. So Akiva Goldsman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows how to write. So
Honestly, I think it really was just because there's so much in this movie.
oh god. Yeah.
There's so much. I'm like, give me one villain. You want to have two villains work together? Sure, no problem. But this was like we had to set up each one. We had to tell their whole story. We had to find out what their villainous ways are for. And then we're like, okay, great, no problem. And then that's why this movie is 2 hours long. It did not need to be 2 hours long. It was really 6
No.
movies rolled up into one, because I'm like, I can't even be that sad about Alfred being sick. And
No.
then, like, there's so much.
Your
So,
made up fucking disease.
and then Batgirl all of a sudden is there. Like, everybody, Alfred already knew she was gonna like break into. I was like, so you knew that your niece
Yeah.
is nosy and rude. I was like, what? But and you want her to be, anyways. So this whole thing was just like there was a lot.
Yeah, there was
There
a
was a
lot in
lot.
this movie.
It is. I'd like to make this super clear. It is by no means a good movie.
No.
Not in any way, shape, or form. Do I think it deserved the crazy amount of hate that it got? No. I don't think it deserved that much hate, because let me tell you, there was a lot. Like, you think that the makers of this movie had gone around stabbing everybody's firstborn for the way they were losing their shit. I don't think it deserved that kind of hate. Now, is it a bad movie? Fuck yeah, it is. But it's also ridiculous. Just so ridiculous. And there's some fun times. And there are some like one-liners where you're like, hey, anatomically correct suit.
Okay, yeah, we'll get
Yeah,
to that.
we'll get to that. But we'll get to that. But it was a lot. It was a lot. This movie was a lot.
It was a lot. Okay, so let's go over the movie. Batman and his partner, Robin, encounter a new villain, Mr. Freeze, who has left a string of jewel thefts in his wake. During a confrontation at the Natural History Museum, Freeze steals a large diamond and flees, freezing Robin, leaving Batman unable to pursue him. Okay, first, I thought these were museum guards, like security guards. I'm
Yeah.
like, no museum should have that many guards at all. But I guess they might have been police.
Well,
But
maybe.
they had these brown. I thought they were
dressed
actual,
like guards.
yeah,
Like
they were.
security guards. That's what I thought they were.
And Mr. Freeze, and to a lesser extent, Batman and Robin, spew more one-liners in the first 15 minutes than most 80s action movies in their entirety.
Yeah.
Like, and they were such gems. Like, I gotta some examples here. Like, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. And I want a car. Chicks dig the car. And this is why Superman works alone. Let's kick some ice. Cool party. Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman. And allow me to break the ice. My name is Freeze. In this universe, there's only one absolute. Everything freezes. Stay cool, Burbo. And on and on. Please show me mercy. And I was like, I agree. Please show me some fucking mercy. And we're only like 10, 15 minutes into this movie.
There was no mercy from the one-liners.
No.
That
Oh my
that was
God.
why I noted it. I was like, I, for some reason, thought they had actual dialogue during the beginning of the movie. I
No.
remember there being dialogue. No, they're literally just shooting one-liners at each other.
Yep.
Like, everything is a pun. Everything is a joke. I'm like, can't you just like have a conversation?
Also, one of the running themes is Batman not trusting Robin.
Yeah.
Early on here, fucking Robin lunges at Freeze, is frozen, and Batman has to let the villain get away to save Robin. And then tells Robin he needs more training. And Robin's like, God, you never trust me. Like, fuck Batman. And I'm like, dude, you just almost got yourself killed. And he keeps doing it all through the freaking movie.
Yeah.
You gotta trust me. And then he almost dies.
He's literally acting like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, I would have let that
And it
bitch
made
die.
me so angry.
And I'd want his last moments to be like Batman saying, I told you so. So we get Batman and Robin going into space. I don't know even why Freeze was going up there because he had his cars and they snowboard down.
I was like, how the fuck are their feet sticking to those doors?
Freeze has his wings. He freezes the furnace thing, which I guess makes falling from the sky survivable. And then for some reason, it's snowing in all of Gotham. Like there's snow everywhere. Then we see Poison Ivy or pre-Poison Ivy, bitching about men and plants and some screaming behind a door that is left open, by the way. And she's like, I'm going to go look what's behind there. And okay, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself, I think here.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Later, Batman and Robin learn that Freeze was originally Dr. Victor Fries, a scientist working to develop a cure for a disease known as McGregor syndrome. Hoping to heal his terminally ill wife, Nora, after a lab accident, Fries was rendered unable to live at average temperatures and forced to wear a cryogenic suit powered by diamonds for survival. Yeah, if they went a darker route, like with all these actors and like a Tim Burton Batman, might have had something here.
Honestly, if they extracted some of the storylines, because I found it very cluttered.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong. They resolved everything, but they packed that 2 hours with everything. And there was no chance for you to actually... I actually had this thought after I finished watching it. I was like, there were no characters in this movie. There were actors saying lines.
Yeah.
But there were no actual characters. There was nothing. They were just... you could have had, security guards walking around in the costumes being like, chicks dig the car. That's why I work alone. That's why Superman works alone. Like, somebody fucked up here.
Yeah, they should have, because Mr. Freeze's character was very interesting on paper, like with his wife and all that. They should have just did the one villain. Doesn't always have to be a bunch of villains. Sometimes one villain is enough.
One villain, and if you want to introduce Batgirl, cool. Give me more Batgirl.
Yeah.
So far, all I know is she rides a motorcycle and sneaks out.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not very trustworthy. Yeah, we also see Alfred is not doing well.
Yes.
He's talking and then he goes off into a corner and winces in pain and he must not be feeling well.
The way they handled Alfred in this, I'm like,
So
y'all are a bunch
dumb.
of dicks.
Yeah. At a Wayne Enterprise lab in Brazil, botanist Dr. Pamela Isley is working under the deranged Dr. Jason Woodrue. who has turned her research on plants into super soldier drug venom. After witnessing Woodrow use the formula to turn serial killer Antonio Diego into the hulking Bane, she threatens to expose Woodrow's experiments. Woodrow attempts to kill her by overturning a shelf of various toxins. Instead, Isley is mutated by the toxins into Poison Ivy, who kills Woodrow with a poisonous kiss, destroys the lab, and escapes to Gotham City with Bane, concocting a plot to use Wayne's money to support her research. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
She actually had venom in her lab. Like when she goes in and sees Bane being made,
Yeah.
and the crazy doctor, who, by the way, it's not much crazier than she already is. Like she's developing plants with snake venom to kill people. Like,
Yeah.
she's already a villain.
Well, she thinks she's a hero.
Yeah.
'Cause she's saving the plants. True, she's killing a bunch of people in order to do it, but she's cool with that. She's
Yeah.
like, fuck the people, save the planet.
Yeah.
It's cute.
And then all of a sudden her moral standards change. But I'm like, whatever. And
Her standards stay the same. She's
yeah,
still
her standards stay the same. Yeah.
fuck the people, save the planet.
And then he's like, we'll make some money and bang, or whatever he said. And she's like,
Yeah.
no, you're a psycho. And
Yeah. Because
they walk back into her lab, and I noticed that there was that big vat there with venom with the same logo as his super soldier thing. And I'm like, people are idiots.
basically her research is what gave him the information for his research.
Yes. Yeah.
And he credits her. Good for him. I don't think any scientific journals are going to be publishing that paper, but he credits her and he's like, without your research, I couldn't have done this. And she's like, oh my God, that's fucked up. Not her exact words. Because
No.
this whole, her character, while intriguing, confused me.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was like, I'm not mad at it exactly, but I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it.
I made a note. I'll probably read it again down here, but I made a
Yeah.
note saying that it seems like Uma Thurman is the only one who gets what's going on.
Yeah.
Like gets the movie. She's
Yeah.
the only one that gets what actually. I don't think the director knows, the producers know. I don't think George Clooney knew, but Uma Thurman got it.
Yeah,
Like she,
Uma Thurman was the only one who actually kind of developed a character,
yeah,
which was, I was like, that's kind of sad because, I mean, I guess Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of did.
sort of, I guess, ish. Yeah.
He suggested a character.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it was a very, like, her character, I was confuddled. I was befuddled and confused.
Meanwhile, Alfred Pennyworth's niece, Barbara Wilson, makes a surprise visit and is invited by Bruce to stay at Wayne Manor until she goes back to school. Yes, Alfred's fat niece shows up, fat Barb.
Can I tell you? I was like, why? Why did she get? Because I remember, like,
when we started talking about it, yeah, I remember it was all, oh, she got fat.
She's so fat. She's so fat. If you're gonna have a Batgirl, she can't be that fat. And then I'm watching this, and I'm like, she's not fat, like not even a little bit.
Well, during this podcast, she is.
No, during this podcast, she is not. We are going to give her her due. Okay. We are not going to we're going to make it super clear on this podcast that she is not fat in this movie. I don't think she's ever been really fat, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, she had reservations there, like, and she's like, I don't know if I can stay. I don't want to pose. And all of a sudden she's like, which way to the fridge? And she decides to stay. But as soon as she showed up, I'm like, there's fat Barb. It's like that. What's that movie we did? The camp one from the 90s.
Oh,
and it was the one fat
Nowhere.
chick, one Camp Nowhere, and the fat
And
girl.
they're
And I'm like, what?
right?
That's
But
your
I was
fat
sitting there
girl?
and I was like, how fucking fat phobic were we in 1997?
A
that
lot,
when you
apparently.
see a super attractive Alicia Silverstone looking amazing. Like, I was like, girl, your legs look great, your butt looks great, your boobs look great. Like, what? Who's complaining about the way you look? Who's calling you fat? I'm gonna fight them. I'm
Yeah,
gonna fight them.
We cover this a lot. There's a bit of this in trivia.
Okay, good.
For that stuff. Yeah.
We'll cover that more there. I can be angry there.
Yeah. So Wayne Enterprise presents a new telescope for Gotham Observatory at a press conference interrupted by Poison Ivy. One, Bruce Wayne's security sucks. Straight
100%.
chicks just waltz right up to him.
In the observatory at a formal event.
Yeah.
Because everybody's wearing fucking tuxedos. I'm like, is there no one checking for tickets at the front door? Also,
To the
that observatory
billionaire
was
who's
gorgeous.
What's that?
The observatory was gorgeous. The architecture on that, I was like, that's beautiful.
And was it just me or I was confused by the telescope? They were like, this telescope, we have satellites all over the globe, and we can point those satellites at any part of the globe and beam it back here. I'm like, you just described what a satellite was built for. Where does the fucking telescope fit in? I know they need it later. What's that?
Nobody fucking knows.
They're like, we can do these satellites.
90% of the shit in this movie doesn't make sense.
But yeah, I'm like, that's what satellites do.
Yeah.
You don't need a telescope for that.
No.
You, at the worst, you need a tube TV and some fucking rabbit ears. The telescope is moot. Anyways, she proposes a project that could help the environment, but Bruce declines her offer, knowing it could result in genocide. That would be her snake eating plants or plant eating, whatever.
Yes, her people eating plants.
Yes, people eating plants. Batman and Robin decide to lure Freeze out using the Wayne family diamonds and present them at a Wayne Enterprise charity event. Poison Ivy attends the event and decides to use her ability to seduce Batman and Robin. Freeze crashes the party, but is defeated and incarcerated at Arkham Asylum. Yeah, this is so. I hated this whole thing. The seductive gorilla dance.
Honestly, I was like, "Who's in the gorilla again?" I didn't remember, but I was like, "That's a good gorilla costume." And then she starts doing the
sexy dance,
and I was like, "It's a sexy gorilla."
I'm like, ugh.
Look, you have to give props to the movie for nothing. If for nothing else, then they had a sexy gorilla dance. Come on.
And this is where I make the note where Uma and all her because they were auctioning off dates.
Yeah.
And Poison Ivy was like, well, if you pay for me, you get what you see. And if you pay a little more, you get what you don't see. Like she really just she
is a very, very vampy kind of character.
Yeah.
Like she vamps it up. And although her accent was getting on my nerves because like sometimes it was more British, sometimes it was very much like 1940s New York.
40s, yeah,
yeah. Like I was waiting for her to be like, "Well, you see now."
Yeah, yeah. I gotta get Batman. See, yeah, yeah, because she's in full 60s Batman camp mode, and you're right. The accent does go from one extreme to the other.
But you know what? I was like, girl. Did I just hear what I think I just heard? Like that was mostly, I wasn't even mad at it. I was like, this is, what are you doing?
And she looks great.
She looks amazing.
Yeah. Unlike cake eating Alicia Silverstone over there.
Yo, justice for Alicia. Okay. Justice. She was not fat. Stop.
For those listening, we did touch on it a bit in the preview. Anna brought it up. Alicia Silverstone was called fat, but there was a reason, and we'll get to that in the trivia. She had to do a bunch of reshoots and couldn't fit into her Batgirl suit, and the media got a hold of it. I think Alicia Silverstone looked great. Still looks great.
She looked great through the entire movie. She looks great now. She looks great. She looked great when her veganism was French fries. Like she looks great. She's looked great for 40 odd years.
Yeah, but for this podcast and this movie, she's a little heifer. Freeze crashes the party with more ice puns until he's just yelling "chill" over and over and over as he's shooting. He's like, "Chill, chill, chill." I'm like, "Oh, someone shoot this guy in the head." Then the big car chase or whatever they were driving.
Yeah.
The mistrust between Batman and Robin. Batman is like, "You can't make the jump," and Robin's like, "I can," and he's like, "You'll die." And he's like, "Fuck you, Batman. I can make the jump." And Batman turns off his bike and almost kills him.
Yeah.
Like the bike almost goes flying off.
I was like, that's counterproductive, my friend.
Yeah.
Because who stopped himself from falling off?
Yeah.
of that building, that would be Robin.
That would be
That would
Robin.
be Robin. But it was also not like a full, it was literally one-liners back and forth. Like, have a conversation. Or have a real like, maybe not when you're chasing a bad guy, but,
No.
like, when you get back, have a real honest to God, like, but I was like, they did not give Batman enough words to speak
No.
to work this out with Robin, or Robin enough words other than, "You don't trust me."
Yeah. I wish Robin died.
Articulate.
Ivy takes an interest in Freeze and helps him escape. Again, this is so stupid. These villains couldn't be more polar opposites.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to kill all human life and have plants just inhabit the earth. He wants to freeze the planet. They cannot be this stupid. Like, and they talk aloud about their plans to each other. They aren't deaf.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to kill everyone and only plants will inhabit the planet. And he's like, ha ha, I'm going to freeze the planet. She's like, we'll be the only two people in the world. Plants will not survive a catastrophic freeze.
Correct.
If plants are thriving, nothing's frozen.
Correct.
I was getting so angry. But even if they were like, yes, we'll work together, but on the sly, like they were like on the sly, they'll like, and then we'll once we get Batman, we'll kill that person. And
Yeah.
but they didn't even do that.
No. So you really think like they really think they're just gonna live together in a frozen jungle that's not frozen?
Yeah. Yeah, they
What?
both have learning disabilities. Is that the political way to say that?
I don't think it's a learning disability. I think they have understanding disability. They don't
Maybe
understand the words.
They're not understanding the words that are coming out of each other's mouth.
That's right.
And you went to Arkham. There are tons of villains in there. You could have like got the Riddler, Two-Face, Joker, Catwoman, Penguin, Scarecrow, anyone. I did like actually seeing Two-Face's suit and the Riddler's suit in one of the cells there. Okay. But yeah, Dick discovers that Barbara has been participating in drag races to raise money for Alfred, who is dying of McGregor syndrome, a fact he kept from Bruce and Dick, but his niece is secretly aware of his situation and is trying to find a treatment for him. How? How the fuck does Fat Barb know? Batman, who happens to be the world's greatest detective, didn't figure it out, but Roly-Poly figured out all the way over in England.
No. But here's the thing. When Barb tells Dick, little Mr. Robin, he's all like, what? He's happy. What do you mean? No, he's fine. And then Batman's all like, yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know what
dying.
he's sick with, but he's definitely dying. And he's just so blasé about it. I was like, this is the man that raised you since your parents died when you were a child in front of your eyes. You're just going to be like, it's cool.
Well, I had a couple flashback thoughts.
Yeah,
there.
he had flashbacks where he had like a little warm smile on his face for like half a second.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And I was like, I don't fucking understand. Dude, those flashbacks would have made a lot more sense if they all happened after he found out, like he confronted Alfred and said, and Alfred was like, I've got McGregor syndrome. Like I'm going to die. And then he had the flashbacks. I'd be like, okay, this makes sense. We're going down memory lane. Now he was just going down memory lane for shits and giggles. And I was like, what does this have to do with anything? Anyway.
Batman be cold. And where is her British accent? Like, remember when Madonna moved to England? She had an accent in like 3 weeks.
Oh,
where's Barb's accent?
Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. It's super hilarious to hear people who have lived in another country and then moved to another. Like, I have a friend. She grew up here in Toronto. Then she moved to Portugal for a little bit, and then she moved to London or to England. She lives in Leeds, and she has an accent that I cannot place. It sometimes sounds like she's from Leeds, sometimes, and sometimes I don't know what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like anything, but I understand it because I watch a lot of British TV, but still, like, it's this weird amalgamation. So I was like, unless Alicia just grew up in the States this entire time, it's the only way.
Yeah.
But also, can we point out who? Oh yeah, no, we figured it out. Peg was her mom, and I was like,
hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Every time.
That's
Hold
it.
on. I think I remember how to do this. Give me 1
Are
second.
you sure?
I think so. How did I do it last time?
Do that. How did I do it last time?
Nope, that didn't do it. Give me 1 second. God
I'm
damn.
here.
I think I have to.
Would you have to disconnect?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disconnect me.
Okay,
Leave
you
you here for
disconnect
1
you.
second. All right.
I'll just hang here. It's fine. Talking about how Barb is definitely not fat. Definitely not fat. Even if she couldn't fit into the suit for reshoots, still not fat. Because literally that suit was just a bunch of like leather pants. It was leather pants and like a corset top. I'd love to know if they had to let out George Clooney's suit. Hi, I'm still talking about it.
I know. I heard you talking.
Yeah, she's not fat. Even if that girl gained 20 pounds between shooting the movie and the reshoots, she would still not be fat.
Yeah.
Fucking fat phobic 90s.
I have to get a
Jeez.
new computer. This one's ticking me off.
You should.
Okay, so yeah, here we go. Batman, Robin, and the police arrive at Freeze's lair in response to his escape, discovering Nora preserved in a cryogenic chamber and that Freeze has developed a cure for the early stages of McGregor syndrome. How convenient. The villains soon secretly arrive to recover Freeze's diamonds, and Nora, wanting Freeze for herself, Ivy cuts off the power to Nora's chamber, steals the diamonds, and seduces Robin, escalating tensions between him and Batman. Okay, mentally, I have already checked out of the by this point. I'm like, I'm just watching the pretty colors on the fucking TV screen.
I did make a note when she unplugged Nora. I was like, "Poison Ivy, you bitch." I actually made that note, like literally, because I was mad. I was like, "Girl, why you got to do that? Like, he's not curing her disease. He's also not going to sleep with you, even if she's dead."
Yeah.
The man is so dedicated. He literally just like goes visits and then like watches his wedding video on repeat. You think you're gonna get in there?
Yeah, because Vicky A. Fox was in there for just a
Yeah.
small. Yeah, she couldn't.
She couldn't hit it.
No, she was hot.
Yeah.
Where are we? At her hideout, Ivy convinces Freeze that Batman was responsible for her attempt at Nora's life, and he then resolves to make what? Oh, sorry, I thought you.
Oh no, just
He then resolves to make humanity suffer for revenge, with Ivy plotting to repopulate Earth using her mutant plans afterward. Freeze and Bane commandeer Gotham Observatory and convert the new telescope into a giant freeze ray. That's why you need the telescope. While Ivy uses the bat signal to contact Robin, Robin attempts to go after Ivy, but Batman convinces him not to fall for Ivy's seduction. Barbara, that's Fat Barb for those still along for the ride here, discovers that the Batcave, where an artificial intelligent version of Alfred reveals he has made Barbara her own suit, one of the XL kind.
he downloaded. You fucking dick! Stop saying that. He downloaded
his brain
algorithms.
I was like,
What
wow.
the fuck?
Fucking
like,
air.
none of that fucking makes sense.
No.
None of it. But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Barbara dons a suit and becomes Batgirl.
Stop it!
Arriving at Ivy's lair in time to help Batman and Robin subdue her. Freeze begins to freeze Gotham and the trio head to Gotham Observatory together to stop him. Batman defeats Freeze in combat while Batgirl and Robin incapacitate Bane. Yeah, she sits on him, pinning him to the ground, rendering him incapacitated.
That is not what happened.
That would have been awesome.
Stop saying that shit, because people are gonna listen to this and be like, "Let's see how fat she is."
Yeah, I gotta go watch this
movie, and they're gonna be like, "She's not fat."
That'd be awesome. And then they thaw the city out. Freeze accuses Batman of taking Nora's life, only to be shown a recording of Ivy admitting to the crime. Where did he get this recording? Did he even
Nobody fucking knows.
like they even try to convey that they were setting her up? The camera
Nope.
angle is the POV of Batman. I didn't see him wearing a fucking GoPro. It's so bad. And that fight with like Robin, and he's in the water with the. They even show how he resolved it. He just after she was caught, and after she was caught, he just all of a sudden gets out of the water. She spawned from that plant, and then she gets kicked into that plant, and that plant eats her. I didn't get that part either.
No, none of it fucking made sense because every
No.
single plant in there, she grew with her little words and her glitter and her metallicized beams. So I'm like, how the fuck is that plant going to eat her? Like, does it just eat anything? That makes no sense. But
Nope.
fine. Okay.
Batman reveals that Nora survived and offers Freeze the chance to continue his research on McGregor syndrome in exchange for his cure. Freeze accepts and returns to Arkham, where he is imprisoned in the same cell as Ivy, whom he plans to take revenge on. Seems like they're breaking umpteen laws here. Alfred is cured, and Bruce and Dick agree to let Barbara join them in fighting crime. And that's our movie.
Don't forget the hands coming together in the middle with partners.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah,
saying,
I was waiting for Alfred's hand to come in, but he never did. Yeah, and just so everyone knows, Alicia Silverstone looked amazing in this movie.
She did.
But what do I know? I'm a chubby chaser. So if Alicia is listening, you feel free to give me a call and slide a fat ass over. I didn't get why the, but we're gonna get into that in trivia.
Yeah.
Why there's a lot more of that in here. But it's so ridiculous I can't resist making fun of it. So let's bring up YouTube scores before we get to our scores. There wasn't a ton on this. But let's see. And it was surprising what there is. Actually, like there's still voting going on older movies. We should do a thing where we just bring them up and update them.
Yeah.
But we had Buy It, a misunderstood fun classic. Rent It, a standalone cheese fest. Stream It, to see why all the hate. And Skip It. Seriously, are you kidding? 33% said Buy It, a misunderstood fun classic. No one said Rent It. 17% said Stream It, to see why all the hate. And 50% said Skip It. Seriously, are you kidding?
That's a lot of people.
So, what is your score for Batman and Robin?
My score is a Stream It. I don't think anybody should actually pay money to watch this movie, but it is so ridiculous. And it has so much that you're going to roll your eyes at, you're going to laugh at, you're going to be like, that's fucking stupid. Like, this is a topic of conversation that you can pull out of your hat forever. Like, if you ever have a lull in conversation, all you have to say is Batman and Robin, yay or nay. And it'll start a conversation that will not stop for another 6 hours because there's so much to talk about. And what makes me really mad, and I'm not gonna pull any punches. They had the material for like 3 good movies.
Oh yeah.
In this movie.
Yeah.
And they decided to cram it all in together in 2 hours. Cut out anything that makes it worth watching, and just gave us this, which was, and I'm like, you had it. You could have made this so great, even with the one-liners and the puns, even with the, very Scooby-Doo like, movements and action. I'm like, you could have made a really great, almost family-friendly Batman movie if you hadn't tried to cram so much stuff into it. But I still think everybody should stream it. Do not spend money on this. Don't, not even if it's like 99 cents. Just say no. Like, don't. But I do think it's a fun watch, and it's something ridiculous, and you'll come out of it and be like, they paid money to make that. They paid Arnold Schwarzenegger $25 million.
Yeah, wow. Even today, that's
For
a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. So if for nothing else, watch it for that. And also the sets. The sets were pretty cool, not gonna lie. What's your score?
Okay, my score. Batman and Robin sucked. The movie sucked. The acting sucked. The dialogue sucked. The action sucked. The costumes sucked. It didn't make sense. The vehicles didn't make sense. They were so clunky and awkward. There was no speed to them. Even with the original 1989 Batman, the Batman was like 100 feet long, but it emphasized that it had speed. This Batmobile had a glowing, rotating engine. I'm
Mm.
sure it resembled the toy that glowed and spun around and cost more money, whatever. It didn't make sense. Gotham was frozen. They unfroze it. Where was the water from the melted ice? Also, where was Gotham? Say what you want about Tim Burton's Batman movies. Gotham was a character upon itself. It was explored. It was lived in. It breathed toxins of evils and shadows. This seemed like stage setting. Like it was there for them to drive through. Even Nolan's trilogy had a living, breathing Gotham. Matt Reeves, the Batman, really had to live in Gotham. Joker had to live in Gotham. All of them pretty bleak, but the city was so fleshed out and important. It oozed Batman. This didn't. It didn't make sense. The Bat Visa card. Fuck off. That's so dumb.
Who thought of that? And who said, okay, yeah, let's do that?
Yeah. Batman and Robin suffers from so much like studio interference, giant egos. I really hope someone got fired because of this movie. I get movies sell merch, but it doesn't have to be a 2-hour toy commercial. Ninja Turtles did a cool movie. Star Wars, Star Trek, the first 3 Batmans. Make a kick-ass movie with make a decent movie. Merch will sell. But you're making movies. Your job to make a good movie, an entertaining movie. We were lied to. We were swindled. We were hornswaggled. Nay, this bordered abuse. But I can't say skip it. And the reason is if you love Batman and you love doing like marathons or watching over days, you have to include Batman and Robin. So watch the first 3 and then this one. Hopefully you're with friends and you can take joy in lambasting it into oblivion, and find new things to hate about it. And then move on to the Nolan trilogy and then Matt Reeves and Todd Phillips. Sure, it's a speed bump in an otherwise amazing road of Gotham goodness. A giant monstrosity of a speed bump, but it is part of the Batman journey. So if you bought collection editions or box sets, I'm sure Batman and Robin came along for the ride, so you already have it. If not, stream it. Because whether you like it or not, it's part of the Batman family.
Yeah.
And if Tank Girl, I hate Tank Girl. If they made like another couple Tank Girl movies and those other couple movies were amazing, I'd say the same thing about Tank Girl. Okay, it's not a good movie, but you need to watch it to watch the other 2. They didn't make more Tank Girl movies, thank God. So don't watch that movie. But yeah,
But
stream this movie.
Yeah, I say that about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm like,
yes,
if you're
the
gonna watch
movie,
series,
the original
watch
movie.
the movie.
Yeah.
The movie was not the greatest.
No,
but there's a reason why it's a cult classic, and there's a reason why it holds a place in people's hearts. And it is a prequel to the series.
Yep.
Ultimately. And also Luke Perry. But I'm like, we can all say that that is
Pee-wee
crappy. And Pee Wee Herman.
As a vampire.
His death scene. Anyway.
Yeah, that was funny, actually.
Amazing. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where I'm like, this is not, look, the material is there. It's not like it was a total lost cause as a movie. The material was there. Somebody in the studio gone done fucked it up. That's what happened. Somebody fucked it up and fucked it real good.
Yeah.
With no lube. And it was not a good time for anyone. But I mean, the material was there and it makes me a little angry, but because you can see glimpses of the goodness that's in there. But other than that, it is an absolutely ridiculous, over the top, campy, just stupid movie. But it's a good time.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a good movie, don't watch this movie. Like, this is
No.
not a good movie. It's an
No.
entertaining one. If you let it be, it's entertaining.
And it's like a Star Trek, like Star Trek 5. It's a horrible movie, but if you're watching you have to watch it.
Yes.
You go on to number 6, Star Wars movie, Phantom Menace. It might not be the greatest Star Wars movie. Might be a
Yeah.
lot stupid in parts, but it has some good parts. And it's just you have to. It's part of the bigger whole, and Batman and Robin is part of a bigger whole of an otherwise fantastic series of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I fucking hated this movie.
I know you did. I know. I still didn't think it was that bad. Like, it was bad,
No,
but
it
for
was
the
horrible.
amount of, like, vitriol that it got, I was like, "Guys, it's a little intense."
No, I agree with them. All right, so here's the trip. There was so much trivia, so we have a few to go through here. I just picked out some of the more interesting ones.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you may
ready.
start, and this one was just for you.
Aw, thank you. Most of the scenes with Batgirl were cut because Alicia Silverstone had gained a few pounds during production, and the wardrobe team had to refit her costume. When the press discovered the news, they slammed Silverstone's weight gain and mocked the actress for being too fat to fit into her costume. Director Joel Schumacher publicly defended Silverstone during interviews and press meetings, joking, "What is this girl's big sin? That she ate some pizza?" When the taunting continued, Schumacher lashed out at the reporters that taunted her. He said in a magazine interview, "It was horrible. I thought it was very cruel. She was a teenager who gained a few pounds, like all of us do at certain times. I would confront female journalists and I'd say, with so many young people suffering from anorexia and bulimia, why are you crucifying this girl?" Hallelujah. Praise Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember it. Yeah, it was a big to do back
It
then.
was huge. And like, this is in 1997, we're still in it, but just petering out from like the heroin chic, where if you looked malnourished, you looked fashionable. So finally there was just this healthy girl. Also, it was a fucking skin tight suit. You
Oh
gain
yeah,
5 pounds, they're gonna have to refit you.
yeah,
S-
and because with the close up of the bat nipples and the bat boobies and the bat
Yeah.
asses, it made me uncomfortable. In later interviews, director Joel Schumacher blamed studio pressure to make the film more toyetic, i.e., a showcase for marketplace toys and games. In a making of documentary on the DVD, he apologized to disappointed fans. If there's anyone that, let's say, loved Batman Forever 1995 and went into Batman and Robin 1997 with great anticipation, if I disappointed them in any way, then I really want to apologize because it wasn't my intention. My intention was just to entertain them. Poor Joel
Yeah.
Schumacher.
Studio fucked it up. That's what happened. Director Joel Schumacher took full responsibility for the film's failure, saying, "I didn't do a good job. George Clooney did. Chris O'Donnell did. Uma Thurman is brilliant in it. Arnold Schwarzenegger was Arnold Schwarzenegger." Accurate.
I don't know if
So
this is
accurate.
in the trivia. I don't think as he almost refused to do the movie unless Arnold Schwarzenegger was his first choice. He almost
Honestly, he was
refused.
he was a good choice.
Yeah. When filming was over, George Clooney quipped, "I think we just killed the series."
That explains so much about his performance.
Ah,
Well, you didn't, George. You came close.
this one's yours.
George Clooney has been known to refund people who saw this film. George
Apparent.
Clooney, I would like my refund now.
According to John Glover, Dr. Jason Woodrue, who was Gremlins 2, right?
Mhm.
Joel Schumacher would sit on a crane with a megaphone and yell before each take. Remember, everyone, this is a cartoon. It was hard to act because that kind of set the tone for the film, he said.
Very true. It felt very like I said, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
It reminded me a lot of Scooby-Doo.
it did.
Mr. Freeze says 27 ice puns throughout the movie. Only
Jesus.
27?
Seemed like a lot more.
Are they not including repeats?
Yeah, I don't think they only counted like one chill. Joel Schumacher had several meetings with Warner Brothers, trying to convince them to let him make another Batman movie. He wanted to take the film back to its darker roots and make a Batman Year One movie. Schumacher wanted to cast Kurt Russell as a young Commissioner Gordon and Selena Kyle as a young, beautiful African American woman living in the ghetto. That would be Catwoman, I believe. Warner Brothers decided not to rehire Schumacher, and the next Batman film stayed in development limbo for years until Batman Begins in 2005.
Honestly,
It's not
I
like,
like this Batman Year One idea.
yeah, which is kind of what the Batman, Matt Reeves,
Yeah.
is kind of, because it's a Batman that he's not sure of himself. He's kind of new. Yeah.
But this one that Joel Schumacher pitched, I'm like, why didn't they let you make that instead of Batman and Robin? Okay, the first Batman movie to not be the highest grossing movie of the summer in which it was released.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
During shooting, George Clooney visited his friends on the set of ER 1994 in full costume. That's kind of funny.
George Clooney was so hot on ER. George Clooney called the film a waste of money. In later interviews, he called it the biggest break I ever had, since it got him into Hollywood, resulting in more successful roles later on.
And if you're a producer, if you're watching Batman and Robin, you can see it's a shitty movie, but
Yeah.
you could just have to look at George Clooney smile, nod. You're like, that guy's got something.
I mean,
Women will want to watch him.
well, no, he does have really great screen presence.
Yes.
Like he's got charisma.
Yeah.
He's got, and you see that in ER. You see that in, although I would consider The Facts of Life his big break in Hollywood.
Well, we even saw it in Return to Horror High.
Yeah, like he's got a presence.
Yeah, like even back then in that
Yeah.
shitty horror movie.
So I mean, this definitely gave him a lot of exposure.
Sorry. When comparing work on Batman Forever to this film, Chris O'Donnell explained it just felt like everything got a little soft the second time. On Batman Forever, I felt like I was making a movie. The second time, I felt like I was making a kid's toy commercial. He also complained of the Robin costume, saying it was more involved and uncomfortable than the one he wore in Batman Forever, with a glued-on mask, which caused sweat to pool up on his face.
Yeah. Screenwriter Akiva Goldsman was blamed for ruining the movie. Director Joel Schumacher defended him, quoting, Akiva Goldsman was blamed for this sort of lightness and humor and fun and games, but that's not fair. I take full responsibility. I mean, Akiva did write the script, but I shot it and worked with Akiva. So, if you love a movie, there are hundreds of people who made it lovable for you. If you don't like it, blame the director. That's what our names are there for.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. He didn't like blame everyone else. And
yeah. He didn't
The
just had a shitty script to work with.
yeah, the Batman costume was a 50-pound rubber bodysuit with a 40-pound rubber cape. What the fuck? Attached to the headpiece. Batgirl's and Robin's costume weighed about 50 pounds each. Mr. Freeze, his costume weighed 75 pounds.
Jesus.
So George Clooney was running around with 90 pounds on him. Batgirl and Robin had 50 and Freeze had 75.
Jiminy Crickets, that's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I'm ready for it. If not for the universally negative reaction to the film, 2 sequels were planned. Batman Unchained, a direct sequel, which would have George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell reprising their roles, although there were no plans for Alicia Silverstone to return. Scarecrow and Harley Quinn would have been the main villains, with cameos from past villains in the series appearing as hallucinations due to Scarecrow's fear gas. The film was going to take the film back to its darker roots. The other film was a Robin Nightwing spinoff, with O'Donnell reprising his role as Dick Grayson, Robin/Nightwing. It is speculated that if films beyond Batman Unchained were to be made, O'Donnell would be Nightwing rather than Robin. The idea remained in limbo until parts of the plot were reworked for the 2015 video game Batman Arkham Knight.
It's weird because that sounds fine.
It does, and it kind of sounds like the Batman, not Unchained, the Dick Grayson, Robin,
Unchained. Yeah.
Nightwing.
Yeah.
That movie, it kind of sounds like what they did with Titans on Netflix.
Yeah. That's actually, I only watched the first 2 seasons, but that's a good show.
I've only watched the first 2 seasons so far. I still have to watch the third, but I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It is so good. Oops.
The villainous character Bane was created in 1993 by comic book writer Chuck Dixon and artist Graham Nolan. In the comics, he is subjectively the strongest and most intelligent foe that Batman has ever faced. Yes, this was the first time Bane was a moron.
Well, it was so funny because when they were like, he's named Bane, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's Bane. And I was like, okay, I kind of see like the visual similarities. But
Yeah.
then as the movie went on, I was like, this is not Bane.
No. Like Tom Hardy,
Bane.
that was Bane. That was a great Bane.
Such a good Bane.
Yeah.
After the film's negative reception, plans for Tim Burton's Superman Lives have been shut down. The movie would have been a first attempt to have a shared universe between Batman and Superman, with George Clooney reprising his role as Batman and with Nicolas Cage as Superman. Oh, I remember Nicolas Cage was super salty about that.
Yeah.
The fact that he never got to be Superman.
He never got, but he did in that new Flash movie.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen the new Flash movie.
Oh, they have even George Clooney as Bruce Wayne in that movie.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah, they have every they have Michael Keaton, they have different Supermans, they have it's neat what they did. It's not the greatest movie, but it is kind of neat where you get to see George Clooney as Bruce Wayne again. It was neat. Actually, someone wrote on YouTube, they're like, after his role in the Flash movie, I can forgive this movie. And I'm like, and I wrote back saying it would be interesting to do a Batman now with George Clooney being much older, as long as Joel Schumacher didn't direct it.
Honestly, I think like Batman the Next Generation with George Clooney as like the Batman who's handing it off makes a lot of sense. I was gonna watch the Flash movie, but Ezra Miller's latest behavior,
he's weird.
It's made me feel really uncomfortable. So I'm waiting for that discomfort to kind of mellow a little bit before I try to watch the Flash, because he was doing a lot of like super sus things, and
which is weird because
things.
Not weird. It's a shame because great actor.
Can I tell you?
Great actor.
People complained about him being the Flash in Justice League, and I was like, honestly,
he was
I
great.
thought he was the greatest Flash.
And he actually went on the Flash TV show as the Flash in one episode.
And then he got really fucking weird and creepy and illegal, and I was like, dude.
But they brought Adam West back for the Flash and the one with Ezra Miller, and they brought what's his name from the Superman, General Zod. From the Super, and they brought all these different characters back for just to kind of connect them to this multi-universe thing. But seeing George Clooney was actually quite fun in that movie. And you also saw Ben Affleck, you also saw Michael Keaton, so all these different Batmans in the movie. It was neat. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, we talked about this, was paid $25 million, then the biggest ever salary for a movie star. He later beat his own record when he was paid $30 million for Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. Arnold Schwarzenegger only worked 6 weeks on this film. So got $25 million, worked 6 weeks. He also had a stipend. I didn't put this in, where he could only work for 12 hours a day. After that, whatever they were doing, he was done and going home. So they had a team of was it 9 or 10 people? So when he got there, they started painting him. They started getting his stuff on immediately because they only had him for 12 hours. He wasn't working past 12 hours.
Well, yeah. And you know what? When you get to that status, you can make those demands.
Yeah. And I like Terminator 3. It wasn't my favorite Terminator 3. It's probably my third favorite Terminator, but I liked it. I thought it was good. I remember it being good. It's been a while.
Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, has called Batman and Robin the most important comic book movie ever made, because its catastrophic failure forced major comic book companies and film studios to rethink how they presented comic book-based media. Hallelujah. Thank you, Kevin, because that's a very valid. There was definitely, you saw fewer and fewer comic book movies
Yeah.
that had that kind of cartoony feel to it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Because then we started getting Spider-Man with
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire, and we got the X-Men with old Wolverine there. I can't wait
Hugh
to
Jackman.
watch
Oh my God, the
Ryan
next
Reynolds
Deadpool
and
3.
that looks so good.
It looks amazing. I'm so excited. And
Yeah.
their press tour has been fucking great.
Yeah, that's I might try to get to the movie theater and watch that one.
Yeah.
Batman co-creator Bob Kane died 1 year after this film was released. No shit.
Now, we're not saying it's connected, but we're not saying it's not connected.
Surprised he didn't die after he watched the movie. Just checked out.
Joel Schumacher delivered the film 2 weeks ahead of schedule.
Yeah, maybe should have used all that time there, Joel.
No, I think at that point he just looked at it and he's like, I could
We're
literally
done.
have another year and I could never make this better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Producer Peter McGregor Scott also resented the film's emphasis on the merchandising toys, saying, I feel if you let a filmmaker just make a good movie, you'd sell the toys anyway.
Amen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. The first Batman movie since Batman the movie, 1966, not to be nominated for any Academy Awards.
It did get nominated for a bunch of Razzies, though.
That does not surprise me at all.
Arnold Schwarzenegger declined to reprise his role for Conan the Conqueror, the third one, later rewritten as Cole the Conqueror, with the guy who played Hercules, the TV show.
Kevin Sorbo?
Yeah, he was in Cole the Conqueror. I remember liking that movie too. To star as Mr. Freeze in this film. Are you kidding me? He could have done a third Conan movie. Ralph Moeller, who plays one of Mr. Freeze's asylum guards, would subsequently play the title role in the television series Conan in 1997, which is available on Plex. I've never seen it. Plex or Tubi. Apparently it's horrible, but it's one of those it's so horrible it's good type things, and I am definitely going to try to check it out. The security guard, there was those two security guards. One was Jesse Ventura, and the other guy, if you pause it and take a look at him, you're going, I know that he's in tons of action movie. He plays the Conan in the Conan series. I think it was only made for like one season.
Probably.
Yeah. Can't believe there could have been a third Conan movie, and he did this.
Celebrities like Jesse Ventura and John Bon Jovi would stop by the set to hang out with Arnold Schwarzenegger and smoke cigars. Bon Jovi would hand deliver the Cuban cigars to the set, which Schwarzenegger would have painted white so that he could smoke them during filming for real. There was an 11-person team required to get the actor into his makeup and costume for Mr. Freeze. The team had to work fast because Schwarzenegger had a strict 12-hour limit per day written into his contract and would have handlers feeding him and massaging his hands while he was in the makeup chair.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's awesome.
I'd ask for that too.
In a making of documentary, Chris O'Donnell said he can't remember filming many of the scenes he was in because his stunt double was used. Regarding his scenes with Arnold Schwarzenegger, O'Donnell said, I was in a lot of scenes with Mr. Freeze, but I didn't work a single day with Arnold. Not a single day. It took 4 hours for Chris O'Donnell to get into his Robin costume. Like, what the Jesus Christ.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
It's just a scheduling thing.
Yeah.
Just a scheduling. Because the more actors that you have on set together, the more coverage you have to get with the actors.
Yeah,
And
we
then
can just concentrate on one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could also explain no chemistry between any of them.
Oh, 100%. And why they were all just saying lines and not actually having conversations. Let's talk about cameos, my friend. Coolio as the banker who takes bets during Barbara's bike race. His cameo was supposed to tease his appearance as Jonathan Crane / the Scarecrow in the unproduced sequel, Batman Unchained. Corey Haim, at around 1 hour and 2 minutes, briefly visible as a biker gang member.
Yeah.
Did not notice Corey, but I did notice Coolio.
Yeah, I know it's Coolio. All right. And that is it for trivia.
Oof.
All right. So we had two streamits, kind of for different reasons.
Yeah.
Both agree that this movie is not good at all. No. Do not pay money for it.
No. Don't give them any money for it. Don't encourage them. Don't
No.
encourage them.
So is there anything else you would like to add about Batman and Robin 1997 or Fat Alicia Silverstone?
Just that gave, like, them calling Alicia Silverstone fat, especially during that time period, I was like, "Are you fucking kid" like, it gave so many people such fucking body complexes. We were fucked up because we were like, "If that's fat
Oh
on
yeah, no
normal
doubt.
looking oh my god." And then the girls who were, like, skinny who were like, "Oh my god, I can't even get to her size," or
No.
girls who were her size being like, "Oh my god, I'm so fat." And I'm like, "If that's fat," I was like, "Are you fucking look, the press is crazy. They're fucking nuts. This is not" it really fucked with the world because wasn't it around this time that she was doing, like, all of those music videos, if I'm not mistaken? I wanna know.
Oh, the ones with her friend there, the Aerosmith music videos
Yeah,
and stuff.
'cause
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, it was in the late 90s. Definitely. So she was like a super like she did Clueless in 1995. I don't I might regret saying this, but I'm gonna say it. Blast from the Past. I really, really liked that movie.
I remember like that movie too. I thought it was goofy, but I remember it being kind of
Yeah.
funny.
It
Yeah.
was very goofy, but I enjoyed it. Um, but yeah, no, she did a bunch of stuff around this time where it was like she was that yeah, she did the music videos for Aerosmith in 1993.
Yeah.
And then she did another one in 94. Um, and then she did, Clueless,
Clueless.
The Babysitter, Batman and Robin got thrown in there. I was like, God. Then she had like Blast from the Past, and she kind of had a moment there. I kind of feel bad for her because things got a little off topic, but then she wasn't Scooby Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
She's doing more now than she did back then.
She's doing a lot now, but I still remember her in Beauty Shop. She did fantastic in that, playing the little white girl working in the all black beauty shop, and I really appreciate her. But yeah, she's been working super steadily. Super, super steadily for probably the last I know she took some time off to have her kid. Like, when she had her kid, she was like, "I'm just gonna mom it for a while," which I think was probably the best bet because post-birth bodies,
Oh, geez, they would have
they would've ripped her apart.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure she was like, "I'm just gonna be a regular person for a little while, fuck all of y'all." And then she started coming back, and I really appreciate her coming back. She's good peoples. Even if she is a vegan, I still appreciate her.
Oh, I thought even if she was a little chubby.
No, no, no.
Anyways.
Vegans. I
Yeah,
have trust issues
vegans are
with vegans.
stupid.
They're not stupid. They have their reasons.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I have trust issues with them.
People that don't eat meat.
Yeah, people who don't eat meat or no, I mean, meat I can kinda understand, but how do you say no to cheese?
Yeah.
Cheese is delicious.
Cheese and ice cream and
Magic.
yogurt. And
Yeah, like
cheese is a big one.
cheese is a big one, and then
Yeah.
also ice cream. How do you say no to a soft serve?
Yeah.
What? So I can't trust your judgment. I can't. I also have a friend who doesn't trust people who don't drink. Um, so her trust level in me has been lowering because I'm not that big of a drinker anymore. And then I have another friend who doesn't trust virgins.
Like older versions.
Well, obviously, if you're
Yeah.
like 18 and still a virgin, that's when her like distrust begins.
Mm.
So if you meet her, you're 27 and you're a virgin, she's like, I can't trust you with anything. You are not trustworthy. This is what happens when you used to work on at a furniture store on Queen West. Back when Queen West was interesting.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming back to 1997 with us and watching a horrible Batman and Robin movie. Yeah. So until the next movie we remember liking.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.